Alright, welcome gamers, it's Slamdry Gaming here, and today we're doing some SRL. Yeah, I'm really excited about this new feature. I've been spent a lot of time going through and doing new stuff on this, and I've been trying to get as many new items as I can just to show you guys, and you know, to improve my racing experience, just to make it that much more fun. Now, this helmet that I have is one of my favorite items in the whole racing style, and it really helps when you're racing. It puts a clear advantage over the enemy team. What it does is it lets you tilt forward and backwards, which when you tilt backwards, it makes you fly farther whenever you're going over jumps, but if you tilt forwards, then you'll fall faster down. Now, this falling faster down is super helpful because whenever you're going over jumps and stuff, you're like, woohoo, jumps! But then you don't realize that whenever you go over jumps, you slow down because you don't accelerate. Now, you accelerate when you're on the ground in SRL. So this is kind of interesting, even though they say, oh yeah, jumps are great, you know, and actually, you go slower on the ground. This is one thing that's kind of disappointing because it's like, yeah, you're supposed to enforce jumping. Not enforce, but you know, you're supposed to encourage it. It's supposed to be great. It's supposed to be amazing. But, you know, they don't make it out to be all this. But, you know, you can't have everything. So, yeah, all these bounties and stuff are kind of cool. I like how they're unique, but one thing is you finish a lot of them very fast. You only have to do 2 or 3 games kind of to finish all of them, and then you have to, oh, you're done with bounties. I really wish they would add more bounties, and I think that would be a lot cooler because then you'd have more objectives to complete, and you wouldn't just be, oh, I finished them, what do I do now? You know, so there's some things they could fix with that. Now this map, this Infinite Descent map, is the best map compared to the other one. The Mars one is definitely not as good, and I'm much better at the Infinite Descent than the Mars one. Forget the name. Probably put that up, you know. Venus one is so much better because it doesn't have as many turns, like super crazy turns, and it doesn't have those dreaded windmills. Man, those windmills are awful. Just like that jump. That jump is awful as well because it's like, oh, you don't make it, you randomly get hit. There's some crazy stuff. And one thing that's interesting is the glitches that happen in this. Now, these can be super annoying because they stop you, they make you slow down, they make you fly up. There's random things happen that you're like, wait, this isn't supposed to happen. And so yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Now, one thing, as you can kind of see in this one, is people bumping you. Now, I think that this is kind of annoying because they're not, half the time they're not intentionally trying to run into you. They're just like trying to race their own race, you know, they're just going. And it's like they don't even pay attention, at least I don't. And so like people bumping you, that's so annoying because it's like you just fly out and you don't hit the gate or you hit something like a wall and then, oh, you lost, like got first to last, just like that, you know. It's annoying. I wish they would make it so you could purposely bump with like doing the little sidestep thing. That'd be super awesome because then you could like actually hit people to the side personally, and the people who worked really hard at trying to attack other players would have much more of an advantage because they were playing smart rather than just playing by themselves, you know. Now the boost gates obviously are super awesome. But one of the weird things is the slow bombs. Like the one that I just ran into there. It just explodes and doesn't really slow you that much. Which is kind of frustrating in my opinion because it's like you hit them all the time. They give you a slowed buff, but like it doesn't really slow you. Just, oh, there you go. Maybe it's for balancing issues, so like the shortcuts aren't extremely short. Maybe each bomb has a specialized way, so it's kind of balances out the different paths that you can take. But I'm not sure about that one. One thing is that's awesome is the shortcuts, because this enforces players who are better and know the maps well to do better, because they know what to do and they know where to go to make it, you know, race faster so you can be better and win more games. Now it's pretty great in my opinion. But another thing is the enemies in the map, they honestly don't do much. Like, they damage you, yeah, a little, but unless you like completely stop, they're not gonna kill you. Like, they barely do anything. And one thing that's annoying on a certain round of Infinite Descent, where the Hydras will spawn at the very end near the portal, like on this one, I believe. They will block you every once in a while. You'll hit them and you just stop. And you're like, wait, what? And that's the only problem. They don't really kill you. I've never gotten killed that I know of by Hydras, or if I haven't completely stopped. So that's kind of annoying. One thing that's also kind of annoying is trying to do flips and stuff, because it's like, oh, these cool sparrows, they have these ability to do flips and activate their little booster thingamabobs, and it's supposed to let you do flips, right? Kinda. Like, if you try to do a flip, you're most likely gonna fail and barrel roll or die. Like, even if you're pretty good at it, there's like not even a 100% chance that you're gonna land. It's like a I don't know, 60% chance that you're actually gonna 100% land your flip and be like all good and Gucci, but you know, it's whatever. What's super cool that I love the best about this whole ordeal is the new sparrows and the new armor, and especially the class item. Now I'll get to that later, but let's talk about the sparrows. Now, they all have this super cool look. I really like the new look compared to the old ones because they look so much sleeker, and they remind me of pod racers, just honestly. Which is super cool because this whole thing reminds me of pod racers, which whenever I was a kid, I'd always play pod racers, Races Revenge on the PlayStation. That was like my favorite thing to do, you know. That was like the thing I did all the time. I was like super awesome at it. And this kind of reminds me of that, so that's really cool. And the new armor has this awesome sleek look. But my favorite thing, the class item, man, that thing's awesome. It has this like makeshift scarf looking thing, you know, like the very first hunter class item that we got in playing the game. Yeah, it's like that, where it gets rid of the cloak, and that's super cool. And also, one thing I noticed with the helmet, if you have the one that I have no idea if it works for the others, but I know whenever I put on my new Monarchy exotic cloak, it doesn't put the hood on, so it's just like my helmet, and it doesn't have a hood on, which is really cool. I kind of like that a little bit better, because it just gives the cape, but it doesn't give the hood, so you can see your whole head, and it's kind of like the other classes, but it also mixes the other ones. Now, that is all pretty cool. Now in this race, I got first, which is really awesome, and I totally smoked them. And look, I didn't even hit all the boost gates, which is interesting because you want to just go better, be faster, be stronger kind of thing, rather than hit all the boost gates and hit your way out of it. Now this is super cool, the loot. Now, all the things you get can be loot. Like this one guy in our game got a 320. A 320 from racing, from just going a little race. You know, that's like 5 minutes. Think about how like hard it is to do the raid, basically. Like, maybe it's not that hard for some people, but for others it's slightly challenging. Now this is like 5 minutes of your time, and you can get a 320 like that guy just did. Like, that's insane. Like, that's awesome. Even though it's just a helmet, that's not all that great, but I mean, a helmet's a helmet, you know? The raid helmet you get from Oryx, and I mean, you can get weapons and stuff. So it's like you can get other things from Oryx, or you can get a helmet. Now, that's all super radical, you know? So I've got all these items, and it's super awesome. Now the horns are interesting. I don't know if I like them that much, even though they don't really add anything that much to the game. It's kind of fun to, whenever you're racing beside someone, or someone passes you, to honk your horn at them and be like, "Ha, you passed me, like, what a loser," you know? But, so you're going, right now I'm going to open a package, get some armor. I don't have all the armor sets, or the armor pieces yet, so let's see what this gives me. Nice, I got some gauntlets and a chest piece. Those are the things I need, which is great. I like how they included it, that you get an item, or an item of an armor that you do not have, which is super great, because it's like, each time you play, you're basically going to get something that you don't have. Well, not each time, but you play, but you know, you have a higher chance. These shaders that you get are pretty solid. They provide a cool new look, like this one right here, that blue and black. Stellar, man. And what's awesome is some of these shaders will match with these new sparrows. So it's like a super fitting theme. So it's like, ha, I got my nice shader, I got my nice sparrow, I'm gonna go all in on this thing, you know, it'll look super fly, and I'll be the best around, you know? So that's super awesome. One thing is, that's even better, is the fact that I got the black spindle this weekend. On a side note, you know, So I'll be showing that later, but after this part, I will be showing you some pretty cool, pretty lame actually, this is not that cool, pretty lame glitches, not really glitches, but you know, mess ups that happen, and they shouldn't happen, but they happen. And I think this is one thing that Bungie really needs to fix, is the fact that these things happen and there's no way to get out. It's like not even the fault of the player. So we'll go into that real quick.
Tower thanks everyone for their participation.
Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.